All right, taking a look at this standard run. You can see how much your dog wants to go. So continue working those start lines. It looks like the dog released on your release, but I expect that you may have maybe felt pressured on your release by your dog's excitement. I really like this lateral distance though. Just running with a huge lateral component. Your dog goes this way, you go this way, and it puts you in a great position to start your front cross. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, creating great line and right into deceleration. Great job on your deceleration. What we do see is your dog does not opt to put in the additional stride. So I find that for a lot of dogs, it's very difficult for them to have their handler stop back here and have them continue to put in extra strides before getting to the jump. So that's a skill that you're probably going to have to practice a little bit more because ideally we want your dog to put in another stride, right? This is a really early takeoff and you can see your dog peaks here and is still several feet from the bar and they're on their way down, right? So your dog had to over jump to make that bar. And so handling wise, it was very good that you put in this deceleration, and I think that the timing of it was really good, but I think for optimum effect, you want to be closer to the jump. Your dog seems to kind of take your position as, okay, this is where I should take off. And then at home, you need to work on being able to do deceleration from the distance and have your dog put in that extra stride. Nice job here on the blind cross. Commit the dog here, reach back. Make sure you've got your dog because your dog's rounded the path just a little and you really had to hold there to get your dog to get that jump. So really good recognition there on your part. Okay, good job getting into the tunnel. Nice connection coming out. Arm back, eyes back. Connect with the dog and into the weave pulls. I think here ideally you start the front cross. Sorry for that interruption. I'd start the front cross just the teeniest bit earlier. So at this point you can see there's a little bit of no man's land until you finish the cross. Yeah, and I can see what you mean here. A little bit of an iffy teeter, but this is how I want you to be able to handle. So more rewards at home for holding that seesaw behavior there. Okay, can't see what. Okay, so I guess the dog ends up just turning back towards you. So I think this is another spot where you can see that your dog is still choosing to take off really far from the jump. Again, on the way down over the jump. So I think your dog needs a little bit of work analyzing these jumps and figuring out where to take off. You can try some ground bar work where you put like jump humps to kind of encourage your dog to put in one more extra stride. I think another thing that you might consider is shaping the path a little bit, but this jump is in the way of that. So I feel like in terms of giving timely cues, you're giving timely cues, but your dog doesn't understand how to physically respond to them, I think. So I think your dog knows that they need to come back in this direction. They just don't quite know how to make their body do that, given the orientation of the jumps and where you are in respect to those jumps. So I'll send you the article that we have on decel from a distance. But I think for your dog, there is a little bit of an element of misjudging the jumps and jumping a little bit early. And so I think some grid practice and some set point practice would be good for your dog. I like the Susan Salo grid workbook because it just has so many variations of the grid, and you can set up those different variations. And I think all of that is just good education for your dog to help them find their rhythm and their takeoff spot. Here we get a better response. Still jumping an extension, but not early, peeking over the bar perfectly. Beautiful threadle into the tunnel. Great dog walk and finish.